Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off. Hat-trick hero. Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode...
Oh, recorded a pod on Monday. Took some training drills on Tuesday. We were resting up on Wednesday. And on Thursday won our games on Friday and Saturday. Recorded this intro on Sunday.
Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I'm joined in a virtual room filled with some lions. I've got Ollie, I've got Berth. Chris is undergoing a rehabilitation program. He'll be back Thursday or Friday whenever we decide to do our Friday show. But moments from the weekend, team. Come on, what have we got?
It's got...
Ollie, you he's probably better than what I've got. He's definitely better than what I've got. So you carry on.
I was just going to say that for me, it was I went to the pub yesterday to watch the Man City Arsenal game, and my highlight of the weekend was when City's second goal went in.
Cruel person.
Made me feel much better.
Oh my word! What about you, Berth?
Yeah, I mean, I'll echo Ollie's statement there, and I thought Haaland throwing the ball at Gabriel was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Off his head.
Yeah, going off from that, I mean, I had my return to football on Sunday, went really, really well, and we lost 9-0. So yeah.
You Southamptoned. Oh dear.
We did Southampton, and I mean, I didn't start the game. Obviously, I've been out for a bit, came back on at centre back, and he conceded the 6 goals, and I was on. So not bad.
I've not even got a chance to do mine because we have been developing news. Everyone, yeah, it's big. This is something actually. It's an exclusive because I can confirm that I have signed a contract extension with Vodafone. It's a 2-year deal, valid till September 2026. Negotiations, obviously, where everybody knew that they had stalled over the monthly payment back on August 28th. I always said there was optimism on both sides, though, to get a deal done. It's £23 a month for limited data, calls and texts. The saga is over. That person on Twitter, I think it was something Murata, they wanted to be kept informed. I've just let you know. It's done. It's all done.
Just to clarify as well, there are other phone companies available if you do choose to.
There are.
If any of them would like to sponsor us.
Yeah. If Vodafone would like to sponsor us, actually, because, that'd be good sponsor.
Samsung levels.
Samsung, yeah.
It's a phone company. It's not.
Do you know what? If I was a multi-billion-dollar corporation, I'd sponsor a free podcast on the internet about a sports team.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, just sponsor the Bridge Pod. Yeah, that someone keeps pointing out to me, going, well, they point it out to us and say, "Oh, it's great because you don't have ads." We've had offers. They're just no.
The thing is, we're the people's champions when it comes to podcasts. We put the fans first here. That should
how much are we selling out for? How much?
I mean, if there are offers coming in, then please do let us know. And please, we will listen. But yeah,
right. Time. I need a sound drop, but we're gonna have to just go. Let's hit some news. Which isn't news because it's a game review, but whatever. For the first time this season, it is time to head to the Kingsmeadow Corner because Ollie, you created the idea. You, the listener, you voted for the idea. You didn't just, it weren't a tight contest. I think it was like 90% of the vote was Kingsmeadow Corner. So Ollie's either created a lot of burner accounts or you really like that idea, which is awesome. You're so happy right now, aren't you?
I'm good with it. I'm an ideas guy.
But yes, that's exactly what we will be calling any Chelsea women's content going forward. So why are we doing that? Well, the WSL kicked off on Friday night as Chelsea welcomed Aston Villa to Kingsmeadow. Chelsea won, Aston Villa 0. Well, we did that huge WSL season preview ahead of the opener, which I do encourage you all to go listen if you have not already. And that game certainly for me was a typical first game of the season game. I mean, I've got Chris's report because he's not here, but he has sent it me. But what were your takeaways from that game, team?
I thought it was an all right start. I thought we played pretty well. Aston Villa didn't really have a sniff, I thought, except near the end. If I had to praise anyone the most, obviously it'd be the goal scorer. I can't remember her name right off the top of my head right now, and also it's
Joanna writing Canarad.
Yeah, I didn't want to get
Yeah.
it wrong, and it's quite complicated. Canarad. Yeah, the way she bent her goal into the far corner, did sort of like the Ronaldo chop, sort of back onto her left hand side. Really nice finish. And shout out to Hannah Hampton as well because she's kept us in the game late in the game. I've spoken about how good Hannah Hampton is for a long time. I think that England starting spot will be hers soon.
She won us that game. I mean, she made 5 saves throughout the game, but the 2 at the end were why they say a top-class goalkeeper wins you an extra 15 points a season, because she won us an extra 2 on Friday night. There we go. I mean, I can't say any more than that. What do you think, Berth? I've got some other points, but go on. I want to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a good performance. It wasn't like a mind-blowing performance. I don't think it was ever going to be a 3-4-0 victory. I think the main thing is that we got 3 points. It's a fantastic goal, and there was a lot of good performances. I thought Hampton played very well. But yeah, I think it's the key is that we got a win, and that's all that matters, really.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm going for the straight away blowing that Viking horn, because it was a fellow Scandinavian who scored the only goal of the game. And that was Johanna writing Canarad. Lovely cut inside and finish. Just an outstanding goal. One other takeaway from me from the game was just Sonia Bonpastor, because she has the best poker face in the WSL, I'm convinced now. Because if you watched her the entire game, you would have no idea if Chelsea scored or they didn't. Because I watched when Canarad scored, she was just calm. She was collected. I'm sure she was happy inside, but didn't. It was just, let's see how this plays out.
I like that. I actually kind of. It's fun to see a manager go mental, but it's also I quite like the sort of understated, just not really reacting sort of thing. I quite like it. It's a good trait to have. It shows like a calm head upstairs.
Yeah, we can't disagree that. Of course, Chris's report, which I have not read until this moment, and he's put a win. Not a brilliant performance, but Villa will be a good side this season. So to get the win when nowhere near our best is a positive, especially given City and Arsenal took points off each other. I don't think we'll see the team in full flow for a couple of weeks, but seen some overreactions to the performance. We've beat a good Villa side and have some very good players to come back in the coming weeks. Clean sheet, brackets, mainly thanks to Hampton, is always a positive too. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what we just echoed. It was, to be fair, it was actually really enjoyable to watch. It was live on, for the UK listener anyway, it was live on BBC, and it was actually I really did enjoy that game. It was just, I think for me, because I'm one of them people that bangs the drum of, the games, people jumping on the floor. Like, they don't do that in the WSL. They just get on with the game, and I do enjoy it. And, it was nice to see both a really good goal from, obviously, Canarad, and we saw some good debuts, actually. I mean, obviously, none of us really touched on it, and I feel I probably should. Lucy Bronze made her debut, and she got the biggest cheer of the night, and she was pretty solid in that right back.
Yeah,
role.
she was good. I enjoyed watching Lucy Bronze play. I mean, you can tell she uses quality, and she's a really good addition to the side, I think. Yeah,
and Sandy Baltimore as well. I mean, it was her.
She had a good game. She had a good game, I thought. It was given a lot of giving the fullback a lot of difficulty down that left hand side. So
yeah, I mean, we're champions for a reason, and we just did the champions thing. We won a game that were we the best team? Probably, if overall, but it was a close, cagey affair. We won. That's what champions do. On to the next game, which I believe was it Palace? I think it's Crystal Palace, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that's what I said. That's what I said. I'm going to double check this. I want to be correct, but I believe it is Crystal. Yes, it's Crystal on Friday again. Oh wow. Okay. Back-to-back Friday night football. That's interesting. Okay. That's nice. I've never. Well, I'm not going to complain. So we're moving on to the next one, and it is because it's the match report, and it's sponsored by
Nicolas Jackson.
Because, of course, West Ham 0, Chelsea 3. Winners and losers time, and we kick off with the winners as always. Who've you got? How many have you got?
I mean, it was really hard to pick just 3 winners this week, which makes a change, to be honest with you. But I've gone for 3.
I've got 3 as well.
First one.
Yeah. Oh, whoa! Go ahead, Berth. I didn't get a chance. Whoa!
I mean, I think if we're all honest, we've got the same one, though, haven't we? We've got to have one the same, and that's got to be Nicolas Jackson.
Yeah,
Nicolas
outrageous game from
Jackson.
Are you 50th game for Chelsea as well? That's going around quick, hasn't it?
Yeah, mad. But it's just like he is so good. And someone I saw a TikTok earlier, and he perfectly summed up Nicolas Jackson. He's becoming a cult hero for Chelsea fans now, because we talked the other week about Barclays men. If he was playing in 07-08, he would be a true Barclays man, Nicolas Jackson, because he's got that flair, he's got that character about him. He looks pretty cool as well. He's got the dance moves now, and he's actually a really, really good player. And people are now starting to realise how good he actually is. And he started this season an absolute fire. His movement's electric. He's rapid. His finishing's coming together now. And the pass, the pass to Cole Palmer cannot be understated as well, because we've seen it in past Chelsea teams not too long ago where we fluff our lines and pick the wrong pass, and then it weren't nothing to come of it. That goal is fantastic. It was real positive seeing that goal and how we countered so quickly.
Yeah, 100%. For me, 50th Chelsea game, and listen, he's got 6 goal involvements in his first 5 games of this season. Obviously, 2 against the Hammers, 2 goals against the Hammers, 1 Michael Jackson thriller goal celebration. Come on now. Let's just say, don't give this guy flowers. Buy him the entire florist, because he gets so much disrespect. And he has been absolutely phenomenal this season. Phenomenal. Ollie, you've got him as a winner. I know you have.
Yeah, you have to, don't you? I mean, like, the both goals he took them really well, especially his second one. The pass through from Caicedo is really nice. Takes it with the outside of his foot past the keeper, almost in his stride. It's really nice finish, and it shows someone who's playing with a lot of confidence. It shows someone who's really, looking to kind of kick on this season. Like, we know he can do that every game. Like, we know he can have a performance like that every game. So now it's just about him, like, building that consistency with it. And that's what he's starting to do now. And I think the people who doubted Jackson, their apology has to be as loud as their disrespect, because he's proven himself to be one of the best strikers in the league at the moment. I think I saw a statistic somewhere that said that in terms of like goals and minutes played and whatnot, he's having a similar season since last season. His numbers are similar to the 14-15 season of Diego Costa.
Oh wow!
Which is just outrageous. Like,
that's crazy.
If that's even close to being true, that's ridiculous in your second season as a Premier League striker. That's crackers. So yeah, all credit to him. He's done really well.
Yeah, and when you look at, I mean, look, we will still have some people saying that he isn't good enough. For me, I will say this: not getting Osman might just end up being a blessing in disguise for us.
I agree with that.
I agree as well.
I've got his page up now for this season, and he drew a blank against Servette in the second qualifying round. In the second leg, sorry, he didn't play on the first leg, and you could sort of shrug that off because he got 27 minutes. I think, did he get 27 minutes or did he?
Yeah, it didn't get long. It didn't get long.
Wood Elphick told me what this meant. I think it was 27 minutes. But that's the thing. Yes, 27 minutes. That game, I don't think anyone really was up to firing on against Servette. However, you look at the Premier League, and he's only failed to score or register a goal, assist, contribution even, against Man City. Yeah, that's not really that bad. And Bournemouth last week.
Which we won anyway.
Exactly. And the thing is, he got 2 goal involvements against Wolves, a goal against Palace, and 3 goal involvements against West Ham. He's absolutely on fire, and I cannot wait to see where his ceiling. I don't even know where it is now.
I'll tell you another stat about him as well. He's now got 12 London Derby goals in 2 seasons.
That's nice.
That's phenomenal when you think about it. He's got a hat-trick against Spurs, 2 against West Ham, scored against Palace. Who else has he scored against now? He scored a fair few, basically, against London teams, and I think he's just getting better and better. And like I said, the Chelsea fans have loved him for ages, but this season he's something else. People are starting to realise how good he is now.
He deserves a lot of respect, and I look forward to a lot of people eating that humble pie on a lovely autumnal day, because he's proven many a pundit wrong. So my second winner, because we all had Nicolas Jackson, maybe we all had the same second player. I've got Moises Caicedo.
Yep,
I had Caicedo as well.
Yeah, so did I.
3-3. I mean, look, I'm doing it. You know it's coming. It might have been a Saturday lunchtime, but the Stat Drop Club was lit up because 1 assist, 1 big chance created, 10 of 12 ground duels won, 3 of 3 aerial, 8 tackles, 2 blocks, 1 interception. He ran his lungs out, and he shut down any creation from West Ham in those central areas. Wherever he was defending, he shut them down, and in attack, hold up, he was contributing. He was recycling that possession, something we all want, we all keep asking for. We saw it, and then got an assist. I mean, obviously Nicolas Jackson pretty much walks away with probably he probably wins the line of the week when we get to that. However, Moises Caicedo is right there going, I think it's not as easy as you thought it was going to be, was it? I mean, why was he your winner, Ollie? Why was he your winner?
He was just everywhere, wasn't he? He's been putting up sort of 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10 performances for the better part of 9 months, 10 months now, like since January, really. And he's just becoming the player that we all know he could be. Like, he's breaking things up in the middle of the park. His passing game is outrageous at the moment. Like, he's always been able to find a good pass. Like, I don't think it's controversial to say he's been a better passer of the ball for us so far than Enzo has, who was signed for that exact purpose. So, like, for him to be doing that and then doing all the stuff off the ball as well, it's just really, really good for me. I'm so pleased for him. I really am.
Berth, he's on your winners list as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me, he's just everywhere. It was a Kante-esque performance from him, to be honest with you. I mean, he was phenomenal. He was genuinely, my dad said it best, he was just an absolute destroyer. He won the ball back every time he lost it, which weren't many times, to be fair, that he lost it. But he won the ball back when he weren't in possession. His passing was crisp. He was a real leader in that midfield as well. And you can see why, when Enzo went off, that he got the captain's armband, and he's just getting better and better. And, people can say about the price tag, but for me at the minute, he's going to get that £100 million value for me. And what was really promising about that is that him and Enzo actually both played very well together against West Ham, which hasn't been spoke about, but that's probably the best they've played together since the start.
I was going to say that, actually. Like, that is, I think that is collectively their best performance together.
And I mean, I'll pose a question to you two. Do you think that Enzo and Caicedo weren't working because of Pochettino, or do you think it's actually the players themselves? Because Maresca started to get a tune out of both of them whilst they're on the pitch.
It's hard to know.
It's only 5 games in, isn't it? So
it's the sample size, isn't it?
I still don't think they complement each other all that well. But I think, Maresca is. I think what's helping as well is actually they're not really playing together per se as much. Like, Enzo's playing further up, and then it's one of the fullbacks inverts into midfield to play alongside Caicedo. So maybe actually just having them apart is helping. I don't know.
I've always been someone that looks at the league table after 10 games. Now, at the moment, someone's told us I think we're 5th. I don't know. I don't look at the table. I don't watch any games that are not Chelsea related.
To be fair, though,
if
you spoke to Arsenal fans, they've already won the league. Did you not know?
They've already won it. I don't know. I don't look at the table.
According to Arsenal
that's
fans,
early.
According to Arsenal fans, they have. Yeah.
I mean, look. Of course, I look at other games. I look at the table, but I don't take it too seriously until 10 games. That's when you can sort of work out where you're gonna be aiming for. Now, I think Caicedo, on him, he came into the club, big price tag, big expectation, and he did struggle at first. He did. However, his mentality has shone for me because he's bounced back and he's consistently been getting better. I mean, he ended the season with the goal of the season. So, and I think I've read somewhere, I don't know where, and I'm struggling to find it. John Obi Mikel was comparing him to Kante, or similar, that he could become like that level. I don't know if he probably said it as well, and that's probably where I got this from, but I could see Caicedo with that quality. He could become a captain. I say
100%, yeah, 100%.
I say become a captain in the sense of that would be multiple, because that just seems to be the way that most clubs work now. It's like the NFL. You have a series of captains. But Caicedo, he's got so much there going for him, and I can't wait. I just cannot wait. So you know what, Berth? Who's your final winner?
Now, this one probably won't be on either of your two lists, but I think I have to pick him out because he was very, very good. But I don't think he'll get the credit that he deserves. And that's Tosin.
Oh.
Now, he came in.
Berth, he was my third.
Oh, so there you go.
Berth,
I think
he wasn't mine.
Okay. Well, I think I have to give it him because he was very, very good next to Colwell. He could have been a winner as well, to be fair. I thought he was very good at passing, broke up the play really well, won all the duels. And also a big part of why he's on my winners list is the fact on Thursday he put what did he put now?
Oh, he said it's time to burst some bubbles.
Yeah,
or something like that.
and then West Ham fans are giving him slack, saying, "Oh, you're not even going to play. Bowen's going to run all over you." And then we beat him 3-0. Bowen doesn't get a sniff, and he goes, "Bubbles burst." That alone deserves a mention on my winners list. So yeah,
it's a good shithouse moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
World class. Oh, Ollie, who's your? Oh no, you've anything to add on Tosin even? I've just realised it's your final.
This looks really assured. I think you can sort of tell he's one of the oldest players consistently playing in the team, because he just has a calmness about him that a lot of the other players don't have quite as much of. Yeah, I thought he stood out in terms of his defending. He did a lot of driving into the middle of the park. His passing was incisive. I was really impressed with him. I think maybe it's also partially because he was like a free signing.
Yeah,
but I didn't quite expect him to be as good as he's been for us so far. And yeah, so just really impressed by him so far.
I saw obviously the Premier League app before I say my final winner. We did well. We played well. However, the Premier League went with Lopetegui's tactics backfire badly. Chelsea have been lavish with praise for their big win at the London Stadium, but frankly, this was one of those encounters that was lost by one team, not won by the other.
Ridiculous.
Which was so comical that
it's both though, isn't it?
We won, and
there's a reason they were
also
bad because we were good.
Yeah, both things can be true. I think that's such a discredit to the team's performance by saying West Ham were just poor. Well, were they poor? No one is saying that they were good. Were they poor? Yes. However, how many times have we played teams? Come on, listeners, you know as well. We've played teams that have played poor. They've been poor. Did we win? No. So come on. I mean, obviously, I then responded with a lovely, apparently not quite sarcastic because some people didn't register when I went, oh, very fair assessment that. We were shocking. Nicolas Jackson scored 2 lucky goals, bounced off his foot. Cole Palmer's third was a shot off target, since it hit the post, and we should have lost by 6. Now, of course, I don't think that. Should next time make it... Twitter needs that sort of sarcasm thing. We need something there. We need something. But anyway, my final winner, it's Enzo Maresca, because he's a winner, because this was pointed out to me. And you know who you are, listener. A winner because the same results under Poch last season were draw against City, loss to Wolves, win against Palace, draw with Bournemouth, another loss to West Ham. 5 points from 15. Maresca has 10 from the same fixtures.
Yeah, when you look at it that way, you can't really look at it any other way. He's come in and he's done a really good job in these sort of first initial moments. I think a lot of us were really unsure about him to start with, but he's got the team trending in the right direction in a way that we haven't seen in quite a while. So I think he's bought himself some goodwill, with the start he's had to keep going.
Yeah,
I think. Sorry to. I think to add on to that, I think what's really, really good and refreshing about him is his post-match interview, where he went, if they don't buy into my ideas, they're simply not going to play. And that ruthlessness I haven't seen from a Chelsea manager in a long time. I like that. I really like that about him.
I loved that. And I will play the devil's advocate here, because Chris would say, he did, and we all probably thought it, if it doesn't come off, it's like the AVB sort of era where you're like, who are you? It's paying off. And I did say it was nice and refreshing. I stand by it. I've been proven right. It's a very rare one, so note it down. it's just good that there's we're talking positive about the winners section instead of going, well, it's hard to find a winner today. And
Yeah.
West Ham is one of those games that I have so many negative memories of playing West Ham at the London Stadium or Upton Park, and it's just not gone our way.
Yeah. 100%.
Thankfully, now I've got 2 losers. How many of
I've
you
got
guys
3.
Wow.
I've got 2. I've only got 2.
To be honest, it was hard to find 3, but I did find.
It was. I've Ollie, I want to hear one of your losers.
First one is well, you sort of spoke about it a little bit, Mikey. West Ham. They. I mean, like we were good, and I don't think anyone should take away from our performance because we were excellent. But that is also one of the worst performances by a team I think I've seen in the Premier League in a long time. They looked lethargic. Their press was non-existent. They just didn't really get up for the game at all. They just almost looked like they keeled over and died like in minute 1. And for a team that usually we really struggle at in a game, what we really struggle at, West Ham away at the London Stadium, early kickoff. These are games that we don't usually sort of coast through. Like West Ham have always made themselves really hard to beat, and they just didn't do that. They were wide open. They're like everything that could go wrong for them went wrong. It made me really think differently about how they're going to do this season because if that's the kind of attitude they're approaching what should be some of their biggest games of the season in, they're going to be in trouble.
I think it's also probably the curse when we said, well, I know I picked them as one of the surprise team because that front attacking talent was just, oh my word, Somerville, Fulcrook, Bowen, and Kudus. There were so many,
and you can see the talent in there as well. Like it's not like they were absolutely dire because, like someone like Somerville was absolutely terrorizing some of our players in defence. But it's just they just weren't there. They just didn't turn up for it, and like that's a real worry in the Premier League. In the Premier League, you've got to turn up for every game, regardless of how you feel about it.
I think I'm so glad I swapped. I mean, it's not much of a better choice when I said one to watch when I swapped Fulcrook out for Ramsdale. But for me, Fulcrook's done nothing. I'm so surprised. He looked like the perfect West Ham striker, and he's just done absolutely nothing.
West Ham are a strikers' graveyard. The only almost as bad as us. The only player who's allowed to score goals for them is Antonio. That's it.
Yeah.
Isn't Fulcrook injured at the minute?
Not that I'm aware.
Oh, I thought he was injured. I could be wrong, but I thought he was injured, and that's why he hasn't played much.
I will let me just double check. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. He did say there was some. Okay. Yeah, good point. There was some kind of comment on that actually. It says oh well. Humbled again. I have. Ooh. Ollie,
apologies, Mikey. Apologies.
It happens. Yeah. Ollie, who's your second loser before? Because you had an extra, so.
Yeah, well, actually, I'll talk about it here because I was I'll lead into it because Somerville was really good, but part of the reason for that is because he was absolutely terrorizing Wesley Fofana all game. He's my second loser because, I mean, to be honest, I think I know you disagree on this, Mikey. We'll probably have a talk about it around the sort of the penalty situation. I thought it was a penalty on balance. I've seen softer penalties than that given in the Premier League week after week for the last, however many years. By the letter of the law, I guess it probably is a penalty. He's pulled him back. He can't be doing that. He's literally like holding on to his wrist for God's sake. And then after that, he was a bit unlucky. He was lucky to stay on the pitch a little bit. I thought Fofana because he did some really bad fouls. He was giving the ball away. It just wasn't his best game. I know he's playing sort of out wide and it's not his best position. But when James and Gusto aren't fit, he's the guy who has to fill in there, and you need quality there. And tricky task again up against a player like Somerville, but wasn't good enough for me.
Right, I feel like I'll pull my first loser. Over the top theatrics. Now, I was trying to think about how I could crowbar this into our winners and losers segment, and then it came to me. Write those 4 words, because there was a spicy debate in our group chat over whether the Somerville challenge was a penalty or not. VAR said no. The referee had said no. I said no. Everyone else said yes. So that's pretty much how that went, 3-1. But when Howard Webb's agreeing with me, I kind of think I got something going. But look, for me, yeah. I'll ask the question: does Wesley Fofana hold Somerville's arm? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, I'm not gonna come and suddenly go, no, he don't. He does. Yes, he does. But does it warrant the theatrics that came afterwards? No. For me, no. Somerville acted like Fofana was all over him like a cheap suit. That alone is why it is not a penalty in my eyes. And I don't get me on my soapbox, because I do feel like it's becoming more permanent by the week. And look, and state that if that was given, then the game's softer than freshly fallen snow, because it was the theatrics that bothered me the most about it. It wasn't the holding of it. It was just how he went down. It was just so unnecessary. I think if he'd have just gone backward or whatever,
that's what a lot of players have to do.
Yeah.
But that's what a lot of players have to do now. And I don't like it, and we don't like it the way it's been played. But the fact of the matter is, Mikey, at least in my view, I've seen that same penalty given, 10 times in the last 2 seasons.
And we know consistency isn't proven in this league.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying is, if you're going to give it more often than you're not, give it. I know what you mean. I don't know.
Yeah.
What I will ask you as well, if it was the other way around and say Mavropanos pulled down Nicolas Jackson like that, you'd want that to be a penalty.
I'd still be annoyed at the theatrics though.
Maybe,
because it just looks so silly.
Like I said though, players do have to go down now, and I don't think it was too over the top. It may have gone down.
But it didn't work.
But no, it didn't. But I think we've massively got away with on there. Fofana was one of my losers, to be fair, for those exact reasons. I just think it was very silly. He's held on to it for a long time. And from someone who plays centre-back on Sunday League, if I did that, I'd consider myself very, very lucky that that's not being given as a penalty, because that gets given week in, week out. I don't know how VAR haven't changed it.
I do because you play Sunday League. Now, obviously, you're an expert here. Do you see players act that theatrical on Sunday League?
Believe it or not, yeah. I mean, there's this sort of there is this sort of stigma, I'll say, attached to Sunday League, where you think, it's all like pub footballers, all 6'6" blokes just kicking a ball about. No, it completely different. Honestly, Chris will vouch for me. I know he's on tonight, but he'll say the exact same. You'll get players rolling around. I hate it. I'm not one of those players, but you'll get players rolling around. Chris is definitely one of those players, by the way. They'll fall over. You'll hear them shout, and stuff like this. And not the refs will give it 9 times out of 10. If you call out enough, the refs will give it. And I'm honestly so shocked that weren't given on Saturday, because it just looked a pen. He's held him for so long that it just looked a pen.
Yeah, that was I think if it's a little tug, then you're like, well, you've seen it go both ways. But it's like he literally holds on to him like while he runs for like a full 5 yards. Like, for me, Fofana's a very lucky boy.
I agree.
I think that's the one thing I do. Like, I will say I just despise about the game, the diving, because it is cheating, and I hate hearing when I hate it when I hear, the player's been clever there. No, he's cheated. He's cheated. I get it, because if you don't go down, you won't get a penalty. It's like, maybe we should just look at this game and go, no, in general, the game in general, and be like, instead of having a player drop to the floor, let's look at what we should be awarding a foul for or whatever. Because I just can't.
I just think we have to. We have. I don't think we should be looking at Somerville here. I think we should be looking at the officiating. I think that's the part that's letting it down. I'd be annoyed if that weren't given for Chelsea if it was the way around. I think the officiating from top to bottom is poor. It's inconsistent. One week it's a pen, the other week it's not. I don't get what's going through their minds. And I'm glad that it weren't given, but I just think the officiating in this country, from Sunday League up to the Premier League, at the minute, is just not good enough.
It's not good enough. You're right, Bertha. And the thing is we've talked about it so many times with referees, is that, like, in this country, refereeing isn't a meritocracy, and it should be. The better you are at your job, the better, like the bigger and better games you should be able to do as a referee. But it doesn't work like that. It's all a big boys club, and they all try and protect each other, and it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, if anyone watches Sky Sports on a Monday, and some of us have work, so we have to watch it via the Sky Sports YouTube channel, you will never see Dermot Gallagher go, yes, he was wrong there. I have never seen it. Never. Everything is correct. So it's like, wow, these referees are incredible. They're always right. Wow, that's incredible. What a world we're in. What a world. Berth, who's that final loser even?
So my final loser is the media, to be honest with you. I think we were fantastic on Saturday. Yes, I know West Ham were a bit shit,
I've
but
heard.
we were so good. Yeah, we were so good. I thought it was good all over the pitch, levels above West Ham. But yeah, all I heard on social media, on TV, on Match of the Day was West Ham was shit. West Ham was shit. Barely any praise to Chelsea, and it really, really pissed me off.
Well, do you know what, Berth? It is they don't want to accept that actually we might be becoming good because it doesn't play into their narrative. People want to be
exactly. But the thing is, I stayed up to watch Match of the Day for the first time in forever. Obviously, it starts at 10:30. We were the 5th game on, or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, we were. I was shocked by that.
And I was like, right, let's see what they say about Chelsea. We got about 30 seconds of them saying Nicolas Jackson and Morris Caicedo are very good. The rest of the 2-minute debate was them going West Ham was shit. Lopetegui got it all wrong. Alvarez was rubbish. This and that. And I was like, give us the praise. You soon slate us when we lose 1-0 to Man City or whatever. Why not give us praise when we're winning games? Why not? We're an exciting team. I don't care what Jamie Carragher says. We're a young and exciting team. Fast flowing football. Maresca's started really well. Nicolas Jackson's doing really well at the minute. Yet for some reason, it's like people are allergic to give Chelsea any praise at all. We have to be bashed by the media, and it's so frustrating because I hate the term there's an agenda against us, but I'm starting to think there actually is, because we could go and smash Arsenal next week 4-0 and they'll just say how shit Arsenal were. We won't do that obviously because we're not playing them, but you get my point.
We could batter Madrid 7-0 and they'd be like, how bad were they? And it's come on.
I get it. We've spent loads of money, but that's not the players' fault. It's not the manager's fault. Give the praise to players where it's necessary. Give praise to Nicolas Jackson. Give praise to Cole Palmer. Give praise to Caicedo. Nicolas Jackson's a perfect example. When he misses a few against Bournemouth, slated. The other day, he scored 2. Fantastic man of the match performance. Barely anything about him. It really, really winds me up. So that's why they're one of my losers.
Actually, you got a good point, because I recorded Match of the Day just to see the Chelsea game back with extended highlights, because I did miss the game. And I saw the highlights on Sky Sports, but obviously it's very small. I wanted to see the more extended version. And I was shocked that, one, I had to fast forward that far into the episode. And second, how little they spoke about us. I was like, yes, you're right, Jackson. Yeah. I said, I was shocked, because you'd have thought we were really poor. And again,
you would think we'd battered you'd think we had battered Morecambe 3-0.
Yeah,
these are Premier League club, West Ham, and they didn't have the best game in the world, but that's as much our fault as it was theirs.
Yeah, I can't find the running order, but I know we were the 5th or 6th team, and 6th game.
I think Liverpool were ahead of us, Tottenham were ahead of us, and Wolves are ahead of us. And I think, who did Southampton play?
Ipswich.
I think even they might have been ahead of us, but it was something ridiculous, 4th or 5th when we smashed West Ham away from home. Ridiculous.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Ollie, who's your final loser today?
It's Noni Madueke. And people might not necessarily agree with this, but
I get it. I do get it.
I think for about the first hour, he put the Noni in anonymous.
Nice.
It was just, it's like he wasn't even there. And when he was doing his defensive duty, I've seen people say, he did all right defensively. Yeah, maybe that's true, but I'm not sure jogging back next to the player who's running away from you is really great in terms of defending. He did a little bit better later in the game, but especially later on as well, when he did get into some attacking scenarios, was really greedy, was really selfish. And I get it. We're already 3-0 up. Well, game's won. You want to get your goal and and add your stats and all the rest of it. But I don't think anything should matter more than the team. And ultimately, I think if someone else has got a better chance to score than you do, then they should take it, not you. That's the thing for me with Noni at the moment is he kind of rides this line of sort of confidence and arrogance. And when he leans too far over into one side, he has a really shit game. He needs to be able to perfectly run on that line to have a perfect game like he did against Wolves. And it just wasn't at the races for me.
He's been one of our most informed players, but he was
by comparison to how he's played this season,
we were less reliant on him. No, we were less reliant on him. That's for certain. Yeah. Yeah, you make a good point. Right, for me, my final loser, I am going to leave it. The words can be said by Seattle Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith himself.
Yeah, they wrote me off. I ain't right back, though. That's the problem. I ain't right back. Let's go.
Because they wrote Chelsea off. But we didn't write back. And look at us now. I mean, it could all come collapsing. I don't need to worry about the future. Let's just concentrate on right now. And right now, I'll be naughty and check the league table. Oh, we're in fifth. Ooh, look at that. We're in fifth.
You do know Barrow's going to beat us now, though, after all this.
I did state that, yes. We are going to be beaten. We've scored the second most goals in the league this season.
That's what I mean. Like in some stats, we're one of the best teams in the league this season. Like we should be casting Barrow aside. Like they're not even there, really.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, emojis time. I just maybe the target because we were playing well. I'd say I put no effort into that.
That's annoying because I actually also put the target. I'll pick something else. Don't worry. Give me a minute.
I just waffled.
I've got I'll put the smoke out the mouth emoji, just sort of like, you know, the cool sort of smoke coming out, just because that felt after that game. It's like, yeah, that's a cool performance. That is.
I'm gonna go with the firework emoji because we really went off with a bang.
We did.
Nice.
So Lion of the Week. Oh, let's have a look what we did. I said Madueke. Well, that's not going to happen. I'm not winning this week. Berth said Sancho, got an assist.
Yeah, don't mind it.
Chris said Gusto, he didn't turn up. Ollie said Enzo. Nah. And the wheel. Oh, unlucky wheel. You went Mark Yu. That didn't work out well. I think Berth we have to pick a winner every week. Berth has won from us lot. I mean, that's just a fact. He can't not. The actual line. Are we going with Jackson?
It's got to be 2 goals. You can't really fault that.
That again. I mean, that means
like if they're tap-ins as well. Like maybe there's a conversation.
It's another unique winner for Lion of the Week. Nice. This is outstanding stuff. So obviously it's Lion of the Midweek because we take on Barrow in the Energy Drink Cup. And I believe it's tomorrow. I believe so. Yes, it is tomorrow because I won't be watching it because I'm going to watch Great British Bake Off because priorities. And I don't know if it is actually. It probably is live because of Sky, but that's irrelevant. Right. Who are we going with? Who are we going with?
I'm going to go for...
Go on.
No, Ollie, you go on. It's fine.
I'm going to go for someone who I think will get minutes and I hope impresses. Josh Achiampong.
I love that shout.
Nice. I think I'm going to go for Yao Felix.
Oh my word. The wheel has also picked Josh Achiampong. Wow. Well, something's going on here. I don't know what, but
decent.
Nice.
Let's be honest, like if he doesn't get if him and Tyreek George don't at least come on, like that, you know, then let's be honest, Maresca will see the academy about as useful as his bottle of shampoo. So
I'm genuinely struggling at the moment. Who do I? Just looking at the names on the list, I've got to pick an attacking player. I can't go defensive here. This would be silly. Technically, he hasn't actually played, so I'm going to go in Nkunku because he hasn't actually been playing. He didn't start, did he?
Yeah, Nkunku's a good shout.
I think he will play against Barrow.
You would hope so. Otherwise, we're in for a bit of some questions will be asked. Right, so talking of questions, we move to Quaresma's questions, and the phone is out of my back pocket. And the first question is, it's nearly there. Hang on. There we go. Right, first question from how am I going to say this? ZFNSR, Colwill Tosin over Colwill Fofana.
No, not in. I think Tosin's a really good player, and I think, like you said, we're singing his praises on the pod today. But I think you need a consistent back line over the course of a season. I think Fofana gives you more over the course of a season than Tosin probably does. I think Colwill is the one that you have to pick, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I'd agree with that.
Right. There's some Chris comments actually about Enzo's thoughts as a captain changed. but he's not here. So we'll park those for the Friday show for certain. So you know what? This seems a positive end. Josh Thompson said it's my birthday today. Now I'm guessing this was on Saturday, so happy birthday for then.
Happy birthday, Josh.
Happy birthday.
Do you have any birthday related Chelsea memories? Oh.
I remember on my 21st birthday, Chelsea beat Leicester 3-0 away from home. I think that's probably the only real memory.
I can't really remember any specific memories, but my birthday is the same as Didier Drogba's and Axel Disasi's birthday.
Oh.
I'll tell you what is a good memory. After a party, not a birthday, but party and birthdays are kind of the same. After my engagement party, I was severely hungover on the Saturday. And we went away to the Etihad, and Chelsea beat Man City 3-1. And it was probably the best game I've ever watched. So that's a very, very good memory.
Is that the one where we basically just hit them on the counter 3 times?
Hit and run, yeah. Proper like Costa, Willian, Hazard, scenes in the away end.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant day.
Yeah, because my birthday being like 12th of August.
Jesper
Gronke.
You can't
Jesper
really.
Gronke. I mean, come on. I've been quite blessed there. Mario Balotelli, Matthijs de Ligt, all those classics that I love. I'm just going through, like, because obviously it'd be the opening day of the season, if any time. I don't think we've ever played. We're very rare to play on the opening Saturday. We're usually a Sunday game because of like Super Sunday. I don't think we've ever. I'm going to look at that Chelsea opening games, because I don't think that we've ever opening day, isn't it? Not opening games. I don't think we've ever played on August 12th for a while. August 14th.
It's a little too early, isn't it?
Yeah, usually. Sunday the 13th of August. Was that last year? I think it was. It's difficult. I'm just going to say Jesper Gronke sharing a birthday. It's the best I've got, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not a bad one.
No, it's not too bad. Right, so you know what? I will pull the Ross Turnbull's Tenaball, because this week's category is movies. So just a bit of fun. Name me the top 10 highest grossing movies of all time. Theatre revenue only, not home movie, downloads, merchandise, blah, blah, blah. So just the top 10 from the cinema.
Endgame.
Titanic.
That's 2.2 billion. That was fourth. Endgame's 2.7 billion. Second.
Avatar, like the first one.
Avatar 2 as well.
Yeah,
Avatar 2 as well.
2.9 billion and 2.3 billion. That's the top 4 done.
I feel there's a Star Wars film on there.
There is.
Do I have to say which one?
Well, yeah, you can't really.
Is it The Force Awakens?
2.068 billion.
So my Star Wars knowledge isn't the best. Is The Dark Knight on there?
No.
Is Joker on there?
No. You've got 2 Marvel films.
Is Deadpool on there?
No.
Civil War?
No. More.
Infinity War.
Infinity is 6th, 2.048 billion.
Age of Ultron? Is that on there?
No. 7th is a standalone. It's a 3rd in the series of films with this particular character.
3rd. What sort of genre?
Iron Man 3?
No, it's not Iron Man 3. Had loads of cameos in. Everyone lost their mind.
And it's not Deadpool. It's not Deadpool.
The same character appeared with 3 initiations of the actor.
Oh, Spider-Man.
No Way Home, 1.9. You've got a film from this year on here. At 8.
This year?
I'm pretty sure one of us watched it. And I was like really doubtful. I was like, did you? Oh, I thought we'd already done that.
Inside Out 2?
Inside Out 2, yeah. 2 more. One is a Disney remake, a live action remake.
Lion King.
Lion King live action, yeah. And number 9 is a dinosaur movie.
Jurassic Park World.
No, is it Jurassic World?
Jurassic Park World. Yeah, Jurassic World. Was indeed. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Look at that list. We had something silly. Just
real hits and misses on that list, isn't there? I
feel I have to watch Inside Out 2 now. To be fair, The Force Awakens, that's my favourite of the trilogy, the new ones. And the memory, I went with my mum and we were watching, I think it was opening day at the cinema. And what pissed me off the most was there was a power cut just 5 minutes into the film. 5 minutes in, the power went out, and then I was told, you got to come back in 4 days. And I went on Instagram just to have a scroll, and I saw a spoiler. I know.
They ruined.
A power cut and a spoiler. Just
week ruined, maybe.
I'll be honest though, like, I mean, I'm a bit behind on Avengers and stuff like that. I don't even know if Iron Man's still alive. Is Captain America still doing well?
Avenging. They'd be avenging.
No, they're doing well,
yeah. We won't give away anything for anyone listening because otherwise we're doing exactly what happened to Mike.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you what though, when the Joker turned up in Infinity War, whoa, blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind.
Yeah.
When Mickey Mouse blew Thanos' head off with a shotgun, was crazy.
No spoilers. I said no spoilers. No spoilers.
Oh, look, with that, thank you for listening to the episode. Treat yourself well. We will be back on Thursday or Friday, whichever we just feel like it. So till then, that will be us signing off. You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.